Bet you're wondering how I got here. Well, the title of this video might be a little misleading. It depends on how you look at finances. You have to judge what this boat cost me. So, rather than trying to untangle whatever's going on here, let's go ahead and pack up and I'll show you what I did. Hello and welcome back to my travel vlog. We are currently in Vital, California. Just driving. It is a booming town with lots of sights to see. Sights such as bushes and dirt and rocks. It's good times. I am driving to Blythe to pick up a small boat. Don't remember it. I haven't seen it in 6 months or so, but from what I remember, it's a pretty sweet boat. So we will see how this goes. Yep, still driving. Probably 30-40 minutes away. Please excuse the wind, but here it is. This is my, I think, 89 or 90 bass tracker. Let's have a look. What is this thing? This is my 89 bass tracker. I wanted one of these because it's a good test boat. I can put a V4 on this thing or a little 20 horse on this thing and still get some decent performance out of it. So it'd be a good way to test these outboards that I fix up. Unfortunately, somebody ripped apart the interior trying to restore it themselves. So it needs a lot of work. So does the trailer. Now, but otherwise, I think it's going to be a good project for somebody else. The reason I say that is because I just picked up this clunker. It's an 84 aluminum bass boat, fishing boat. I don't know what you'd call this thing. But it is in pretty good shape. The carpet doesn't need to get changed, probably just washed a little bit. That seat's got a little tear in it. But the back seats don't. The interior is all there. It has some kind of bedliner material on it, which it's fine. Got a little measuring stick for my fish. Stainless steel bimini top. I don't know what the fabric's like. Oil tank, that's going to go. It's got 2 batteries in there that actually still have juice in them. It's got a 92 Johnson 70 horse on it, power trim and tilt, fast track system, controller. I have the keys, everything you would really need. It even has the trolling motor still attached to it. Story with this thing is it was at an apartment complex and it just sat there forever. I guess like 6-7 years, and they were getting some work done on the ground there by some landscapers, and they needed the boat moved. The apartment complex had no idea who owned it. They couldn't figure it out, and they couldn't get anybody to move it. So they told the landscapers, well, you take it out of here. So they obliged. One of the guys ended up with it, sat on it for a year or two, and he's like, hey, I'm never going to do anything with this, and try to sell it. Problem is, no paperwork. So it wasn't easy for him. So I come along and I snatched it up. Now, I like to be upfront with what things cost me in these videos, so this was $500. But it doesn't need 2 to 3 sheets of 3/4 inch marine ply, so there's, $400 or so, and it doesn't need carpet, so there's another couple $100, and it doesn't need the 2 days worth of labor to get it back into this shape. So for the $500, this is going to be a much better test boat for me. Granted, it's older, debatably uglier, but this green stuff, that's just spray paint. I can get that right off. Shouldn't really be that big of an issue. It being abandoned like it was, it still has all of its gear in it, really. It's got some fishing poles. They were in little holders, but I threw them in there so they wouldn't fly out down the highway. We got a tackle box, complete with change and stuff. It had a well-stocked first aid kit in it, which I left on the back of the boat, and I'm assuming it's somewhere on the highway now. But yeah, that's basically it. I think most people would have been pretty turned off by that lack of paperwork, but not me. That's just an opportunity for a cheap deal. What the apartment should have done Let's call a tow company. Say, yeah, I have an abandoned boat here. Can you come pick it up? Tow company would have taken care of everything. They also would have auctioned it off, which means that boat would have gone for a lot more, and I wouldn't have gotten it. So every now and then you get these good little mistakes that come your way. Alright, let's get back to that other boat, which is going to be a problem all on its own. When I leave my gravel here, sand is real soft on that side, so I hit it with some speed and good to go. Alright, I slapped an outboard and controller on it. Let's go list it for sale and see what we get. Let's get this top out of the way. The poles are pretty nice on that thing, but the top itself, I don't know. Let's get this oil tank. A little bit of oil left, not bad. Drain it, throw it away. Don't like these disgusting things. And naturally it's hooked up. Boat has the toolkit in there. Good enough. What this thing is. Tracking device. Fish finder. Battery tender. It's probably a battery tender. Alright, so that's coming off and probably getting fixed if that's the case. Air cover for the outboard. This battery looks pretty old. Pretty sun-baked on top. Alright, batteries. You're coming with me. To the boat with you. Well, the boat is in the garage here, and pretty much where I've gotten with it. There's a rat's nest of wiring down here. Nice and organized. Just an absolute mess. Looks like every accessory was wired with a different wire, and all of them connect to their corresponding spots on the battery. It's funky. There's actually a lot of other interesting things about this boat too. The overall design of it. The floor of the boat, inside where you'd sit, isn't actually the floor of the boat. There's a hollow spot underneath, which is expected, but usually not in an aluminum boat. So inside of there somewhere, there's wiring that runs to the front for that bow-mounted trolling motor. How to get to it, I got no idea. This is typical. Wires. Do who knows what. Let's pop the cover off. Follow the wires, see where they go. This is why I have a good selection of red heat shrink tubing. So when I come across that, I heat shrink the red onto the end. I don't have any right now, otherwise I'd do it, but you know, that's the theory. Alright, connected. Is this thing any good? I don't know. Power trim works, so far so good. I'm gonna remove the transom saver here, get the outboard all the way down, and pull it off. Slight problem, throttle up. Can't get it all the way down without forcing it. And, if you look, there's the end. That's the end of our throttle. So I can't push that thing down any more than that. Probably a misadjustment here of the cables. Probably wasn't running very well, so they figured obviously just needs more gas to keep idling. So that's, I don't know, somebody probably just rigged that up. Hopefully that's the least of this thing's problems. I'm going to pull the outboard off, play with it later. I'm going to have time to go through it and see what it needs, if it's any good. So I'll get started on that. I think when you go and buy a fishing license, they give you free spray paint. One more bolt and it's free. Now we can see what kind of mess we have. So, I know a lot of you right now are probably saying, oh, you didn't even give that outboard a chance, I bet you it runs. You're probably right, and you're right, I didn't give it a chance. Reason being, I like to go through my outboards, make sure they're in tip-top shape before they go see open water. I like to do more than just squirt some carb cleaner in there, put gas in it, and hit the water. I don't want to find out it's going to break down on me. So eventually I'll go through that thing, but for now I'm just trying to get this boat kind of cleaned up and make sense of whatever's going on in this wiring. We'll start in the back. These two cables are our engine and power trim and tilt harness, so those got to stay. We have access door here with what I believe is a battery tender, or battery maintainer. It's the house plug. Unfortunately, I guess that would work, huh? Yeah, it's probably fine. I can either leave it on and take it off. I'll probably take it off and use it for other purposes. Since I do so much with boats and motors and whatnot, I usually don't leave a battery in them, so I'll probably just take it off, get rid of the space. Avoid the clutter of the extra wire too. Next we have this old fuel line that probably isn't any good anymore, although they did do a pretty good job routing it. I give them credit for that. See if we can turn some light on. So we have a bilge pump hooked up to what looks to be a garden hose, running to this mass of wires, which runs to all black wires, which goes who knows where. At the bottom we have this pipe, little tubing conduit thing, which looks like also like an old garden hose, with what looks like THN, home wiring. THN. It is gas and oil resistant, so it's got that going for it. The problem is the coating kind of likes to fall apart. Nothing really wrong with this wiring right now, other than it could be better. So I'm guessing, again just guessing here, but I'm guessing this goes to the trolling motor. Part of me wants to just hook it up to the power and see what happens. Got any power here? Nope. What are you doing? You're dead as a doornail as well. Yeah, though you're not plugged into nothing. Let's try this. Hey! Yeah, honestly, I got no idea how these things work, but it needs to go down. So if I hit this switch here, click or do something. All right, so that's how that works. I'm guessing that's the go. Hey, it's spinning. Well, that's handy, huh? So now I just need to figure out how to get it to go down. All right, we get it. This whole cover is kind of falling apart. Oh, this whole cover fell apart. Let's see how you tick. Alright, has its power cable here, and then it's got another cable running up here over into this bundle, which runs over to some electrical tape and goes somewhere. I'll worry about all that later. Looks like your tire out of the way, which I should have checked that before towing it everywhere. I mean, that's just silly. Alright, tire. Yeah, oh, you're flat anyway. Figures. Well, that's a pretty nice bracket there, though. I'll go get that tire fixed. It's actually pretty blown up, too. Alright, so the lock is pretty important. We have 3 screws that fell out. They're all the same, so that goes and tells me that just needs a screw in it. Okay, our spring needs more tension than that, so I do kind of think this is how this goes on, but definitely needs more tension than that. I could have it wrong though. Maybe it goes on the bottom like so. Yeah, that'll probably do it. Yep, I'd say that's how that works. There's the transducer hose clamps here that run up to go nowhere over to where a fish finder probably used to be installed. So that ain't gonna help me right now. And since it's a rat's nest of wiring right there anyway, I'm gonna take it off for now. Hopefully somewhere hidden in this boat is the fish finder, because then I can just hook it back up, but I don't think I'm gonna get that lucky. Also, what is with hose clamps? Jesus. Just work. Apparently when they're handing out the spray paint, they're also handing out electrical tape. This is just silly too. Climb into the boat, look for junk. First thing I do, get a fish hook in my foot. On my sandal. I need new sandals. You just look at the bottom of those things, they're pretty gross. But, fish hook. I'm now fishing the transducer line that ran from the back of the boat to the little console. This is for the little handheld fish finder. Putting the wiring out of there. And the transducer. In case you're wondering why, you could be saying, well, it's still good. Well, not really. Look at the wires here. If it'll focus, you dirty piece of there we go. They're chafed anyway. They're all twisted together. Even if I did find the other half or one that'll work with this transducer, it still ain't any good. All right, I got an old paint roller and a spray that I stole out of my dad's garage. I'm gonna try this stuff. I don't know. 30 minutes to 24 hours. I don't know if I feel like waiting that long, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna pour some of this in there, paint the back of this boat, and see if I can't get that spray paint off there. Well, that sets up, I'm going to get everything out of this boat, hopefully. So, this is where I am with the transom. It looks like it was painted blue, then green, and then black on top of that. Alright, here's where I am. I got the interior kind of cleaned out. A little stain there, no big deal. Seats kind of washed. Interior is dusty. Well, it's the sand we have here in the desert, kind of embeds itself into stuff. So that's going to need actual water to get clean, but all the corners, got all the dirt and dust and feathers out of there. And these are all cleaned out, the front's all cleaned. I washed all these cables down. They were covered in grease and junk. That kind of bothers me in a boat. When you touch something, you don't want to get greasy. Got those washed, and that's basically where we are. The back transom is free of green, black, and blue paint. You can see here the water line. So that's, I don't know, it's debatable if it looked better before or now. But, I don't know. I do think I like the dirty aluminum color or look better than the spray paint. So what I'm going to do is rip these off, the side supports, paint stripper the whole thing down, pressure wash it, and hope for the best. That's the plan. I pulled the electrical switch panel out, try to see what was going on. Out of our harness plug here, we have a cut black wire, which is assuming is our ground. Our ground is no longer being used, replaced with this green wire, which runs down and taps into the screws that mount the controller. So for whatever reason, didn't want to use this ground, added another ground, but I think this ground is being used as a fish finder. And it's a little weird. So nothing really major. When I first pulled it out, I was like, oh, I can make a new one of these. But looking at it, I really don't need to. This can just be fixed. So reattach the ground, make the new ground jumpers for these lights to work, and in theory we'll be fine. Also, by doing that, I can get rid of this wire. Now, I will make another spot to tap into that for any fish finders or any other accessories I feel like putting in here. Any gauges can be run off of the controller power, so don't need to add that. Really, it's just accessories you'd be adding. So not really a problem. A little snipperoo of this added green wire. I think this is a better idea too, because now I won't have a green wire running down through the dash. Alright, let me rewire this real quick. Okay, wiring has been repaired. I've added in two little taps here to any accessories. So you plug in, you got a ground, and now you have a hot. No need to cut into this again. I've already got the battery hooked up, so in theory, all you got to do is plug this thing back in and see if it works. Should plug in just like this. And our aerator is on. Bilge does nothing. Net lav nights do nothing. Accessories work though. I think our nav light switch and our bilge switch are dead. So that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, I guess I should probably find some on Amazon or something, huh? Alright, well, good to know. So that was fun. Got it out of there though. Some of you may be thinking like, should have left it in, cleaned it out. Nothing wrong with that tank. And you're right, but Google clean boat tank and you're going to see a plethora of people asking how they can get all of the gunk out of the bottom of their gas tank to be able to use it. In the world of boats with built-in gas tanks, this was by far the easiest built-in gas tank to get out. With that said, it was a nightmare. But portable will fit in here. I won't have to put it on the deck anymore. I can remove it, replace it, clean it, whatever I want to do without it being in the boat. I think it's a better idea than having that built-in tank. First problem with getting it out of there was the neck of the filler was up here with the deck, so you can't slide the tank out. So I went and got the longest Sawzall blade I could find, went in there and cut it off. I thought everything was hunky-dory. Then the problem was those brackets. The sides of the boat flare down a little bit, which means brackets can slide in and out, but they can't come up. Not enough room to put the tank sideways. So I cut off the mounting flange on that side. As you saw, out came the tank. That's where I am. I didn't measure beforehand, but I should have. But plenty of room for my portable. I'm happy with it. When I'm done, take it out, empty it, drain it, store it indoors, whatever I want to do. It dawned on me that I can just get replacement switches from AutoZone, so I drove down there and got some. Well, O'Reilly's actually. That is the second purchase I've made on this thing thus far, except for the Sawzall blade and now these. There is a YouTuber, Technology Connections is his channel name. He's always talking about how good blue LEDs are. Unfortunately, I didn't have any, so I got green and red. Why not, right? So let's get those open and get them installed. Okay, I have the boat powered up, aka the battery connected. Accessory works. Try to straighten those out a bit. Do I care? You know? I mean, that is kind of funny. So I think the problem with the bilge is its startup is just weird. I really think that is funny, red and blue, and then, you know, blue and red. Maybe I'll swap them, just so. But I want to swap the lights or the switches. I mean, that aerator is bright and annoying. It's probably the way it should be. Alright, I'll switch them. Well, that's good to go. It's kind of funny, if you think about it. To fix this thing's electrical system, all I did was undo the prior repair. Put it back to the factory the way it was supposed to be. Which goes to show you, sometimes repairs or improvements aren't necessarily the best. Maybe better just to leave things the way they were intended to be. This coming from the guy who just cut out the factory gas tank. Believe me, the irony isn't lost. Speaking of electrical, we need to see if the boat's controller is functioning. To do that, I have this little test box I whipped up a year or two ago. It will test the condition of the boat's controller. Into our little test box. So the red light means that the stop signal is working, which means when we turn the key off or take the key out, the engine is going to turn off. It should be the key. We have the green light, which means ignition is working. start. You can't really tell, but that says start on it. Choke, working. Works at the same time. Let's test our horn. So our warning horn is working. All in all, not bad. The boat uses this bottom plug. This would usually be where your tachometer connects. They don't have a tachometer in this boat. They're just using it as the ground wire. We plug in our control box. That's supposed to happen. And all three lights light up. So we have our ground signal, our gauge signal for our tach, and our okay, that's power, tachometer, and ground. So that plug is working and everything in here is working fine. And yeah. Now I could test the up and down. I might as well just to show you this thing. And it doesn't look easy to plug in. Maybe I won't. Anyway, it has these other two right here on the side. So when you touch the throttle buttons, you know, the up and down, those will light up too. But I already know that's working because I pulled the outboard off with them. Piece of cake. All right, well, controller's working, electrical system of the boat's working. I'd say we ready to reinstall an outboard onto this thing. All right, I just got done cleaning the steering shaft, so it is ready to go into an outboard again. Outboard of choosing is going to be this one. It is a 40 horsepower Evner tracker. Reason for that one came off of my pontoon boat. Recently I've put in a larger motor on there. That one came off. Still a good motor, so obviously I'm keeping it. You may be saying, well, Brandon, a 70 came off. Why are you putting on a 40? This thing's going to be slow. 40's really not that slow. And let's not forget either, running low hour and maintained green spray paint. Well, the boat's pretty much ready to go at this point. I just got a couple little things to do. Clean all my junk out of it. One thing I've noticed is this back deck here makes an incredible shelf when you're working on this boat. It's just a great place to put stuff. So as the years have gone on in my boating world here, I started collecting junk that I don't really use because I don't really go fishing. But it's still good and don't want to throw it away. One of them is this fish finder. Looks new, never used, so I figured that would make a good addition to build my fishing boat here. Should be a pretty straightforward install. Got some wires and stuff. Little base. I'm going to go ahead and slap this guy in. I got this net somewhere. Gotta have a net. We don't want it to look like amateur hour out there. Also, that is not how that is supposed to go. This handle isn't supposed to fall apart either. Well, I'm pretty well set up except for that fire extinguisher. I'll address that later. The only thing left to do now is put it in the water, really. Somebody's first day of school. How do you feel? Good? What do you have? You got your lunch and what else? And your backpack? All right, you ready to go? See, I want to launch right there because then you just push the boat off right in the beach and go park, but this dude's just parked here. So I'll go around, I guess. All right, let's see how this goes. Turn on. The problem with these little boats, when you're out by yourself, you have this permanent lean wherever you're sitting. If I just turn left, it won't be that bad. So far, so good. Our engine's running. We're spitting water out. The boat's not taking on any water. We're in neutral here almost. Well, we're in drive and we're picking up some good speed already, so it's a pretty light boat. So that 40 horse really shouldn't have any troubles. Not that I would think it would. Let's wait for these waves to pass. Head out in the open water. We're going pretty good, I'd say. So we'll head upriver for a little while, get the feel of the boat. Just kind of enjoy our time, and then we'll start messing around with stuff. So far, it's quite smooth. I mean, your view is bouncing everywhere, but in my view, it's comfortable. Fish finder works. Let's turn on our power. Now we'll see. Alright, well, it says we're in half a foot of water. Okay, we're in 11.2. Oh, we got 4, 5, 8 fish here. So I guess that's working. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think I should have read the instructions beforehand, because I don't know what I'm looking at. Looks like we had fish. We got some fish. Oh, look at that. There is actually a fish down there. Yeah, alright, well, okay. Alright, we are up rivers quite a ways away from the bridge and from the marina and from everybody else. So we have nice, smooth water. We also are in much deeper water. So I'm not worried about running aground up here. So any checks and walking around I want to do, this is the place to do it. Basically want to see this live well up here. See if it's full of water or not. Nope. Perfect. Let's check in the back. Make sure we're not full of water back there. And there's some water in there, but that could, well, I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it on the camera. But that could just be from me getting in and out. So I'm out. I don't care. Alright. Let's see how well this trolling motor works. The goal here is for it to work better than Musty's. His is a little funky. Angle the camera up a little bit and we'll see how this works. Well, we're doing something. Alright. Let's go that way. So it's not going to take me up current, that's for sure. But it will give me some direction. See, the goal here is, should there be a problem with the outboard, I can use that little trolling motor to get me back to the marina without having to swim it in. And that little auto navigation thing, that's kind of neat. All right, little motor, take us away. You know, that's actually not that bad. It'll push us downriver, keep our heading right. I mean, what more could you ask for, really? I mean, it'll keep us, like I said, should the outboard die, it'll keep us on a straight course away from rocks in the river, and it'll probably pull us back into the marina. Can't expect it to go upriver, but down, not an issue. It's pretty easy to see what's down there up here. Just tangle that mess. How am I supposed to catch anything like this? Oh, look at those bad boys. Oh, I'm catching you guys. Oh yeah, just go ahead and keep coming this way. Wakeboard boat just went by, scared away all my fish. Great. Now it's that boat's fault I'm not going to catch anything. What these vultures over here doing? I ain't giving them none of my fish. No, sir. Oh, 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 oh. Almost. Yeah, I don't know where I threw that. Alright, enough screwing around. Let's get out of here. Get some more footage. Where we going? Forgot to get a video of me going by, so beached it real quick, and I'll go by and get my footage. I got a 2-inch draft because I can get right on and off those beaches, so it's pretty good. Nice and decent. 3 feet of water. Looks like the pontoon boat struggling a bit. Probably it's the same problem I do. The boat's wider than the truck. He's using where I like to go. If you are curious, the aerator does work. Look at her aerating. Should keep my fish breathing. There, anyway. Well, I made it back. No troubles at all. The desk here has kind of become a catch-all since I've been working on that thing, so I start cleaning all this off. Also, all the clutter that I have along the side of where the boat was, I'm gonna start taking pictures of it and try to get it all sold because it's just, I don't need to be in that junk. Anywho, figured I'd give you a price breakdown. Now again, it depends on how you look at this. I mean, I traded that piece of junk boat for this less junky boat, but I didn't really. I really sold it and then used the money to buy this thing. So it depends on how you look at it. But the old boat, it didn't cost anything. It was given to me. You saw the condition. You can understand why. Boat, $92 to register it. Trailer was $64 to register it. I sold it for $500. The new boat cost $500 to purchase, $83 to register it, $43 to register the trailer. I bought 2 switches and a Sawzall blade, total of $24. So, including the sale of the other boat, I have a total of $306 into this thing, which is a phenomenally great price. But yeah, in the world of abandoned boats, that definitely probably should have been one of them. That thing is too nice. That first one, abandoned boat, makes perfect sense. That last one, not so much. But anything could have happened, really. I mean, the guy says he got it from the apartment complex, the guy I got it from. So, okay, let's say that somebody was living there, moved or got evicted or something happened. Their new place, they couldn't take it with them, and they just never went back for the boat. You know, that's very, very possible. Or let's say he bought it, you know, or somebody bought it without their wife or girlfriend knowing about it. They moved out, and he never went back for it. Or, you know, maybe whoever owned it passed away, and the family didn't even know he owned it. I don't know. I'll never know, but I really do think it was a nice boat, not the kind of thing somebody would leave behind. But there are some funky things. So I have a decent understanding of the ins and outs of the DMV system in California, and I know how to get registration on things like that with really no troubles at all. I know a lot of people don't. So a lot of people see that, you know, no titles on boat or trailer, and a lot of people are scared off by that, like, ooh, no, not buying that. Me, that's just an opportunity. You know, you get a lower price that way. However, when they were running the numbers of those AZ numbers that were originally on the boat, they said those numbers didn't belong to that VIN. So perhaps something was going on there. You know, somebody had numbers off of another boat and threw it on there, kind of thing, and they never even had title to that boat. So whenever something happened in their life, they decided it wasn't worth it to go get it since they didn't have title for it anyway. But it's also possible that when the DMV clerk was originally entering in the VIN for those numbers, missed a couple of digits or one digit. I don't know. Anything's possible. I'll never really know. It doesn't really make a difference. The new boat registered in my name, Title's in the mail, so legally it's mine. So we'll see where that boat takes us. So there's the first aid kit I thought I lost, but it's all old and junk. There's the old numbers that I scraped off the boat. Now, I was going to put my new numbers back on there because I have numbers and tags now. I just was too lazy to put the numbers on, so they got to go on. Got to clean out over here. Replace the tire and rim. Well, just the tire, but usually you just get the tire and rim at Walmart for the same price as buying a new tire. So we'll see how that goes. Got to replace that. Need a winch. Trailer lights. Somebody put a 7 round trailer plug on that thing, so I can't even plug the stupid thing into the Ranger. I have a few more passes to do with the stripping gel in a couple of spots. Also, this aluminum gas tank, I didn't cut much of that off. I'd probably get 20 bucks for this thing. So I got these 2 fishing poles too. Yeah, these are the nicer ones. I don't want to take these with me in case I screwed them up. I don't really know if they're worth anything, but you know, maybe the baby will have fun trying to catch something with them. Never know, but down the road. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm going to get my bench cleaned off and get ready for the next one.